All right, peace, family. Aquarius, welcome to your November horoscope. As I get myself together here. November is going to be go time. All planets are direct this month. It's a great time for launches, big decisions, agreements, investing, moves, planning, and new projects. Although I would definitely stay tuned for my Aries full moon video. So I'm recording this fairly early, family, on October 3rd. So by the time you get this, my Aries full moon video will actually be out. So if I'm talking like, the timing and it's not adding up, that's why. So we're all on the same page, but I just have a really bad feeling that the Aries full moon is going to bring some economic breakdown, and really it's going to set the stage for any economic breakdown for the next year. So be sure to listen out for that video so that you know how any of these things may or may not be affecting any plans that you have. And then we have Venus starts its shadow phase November 18th, and it will actually retrograde December 19th. So it's best to deal with any past issues, detox, declutter, finish old projects, research, relax, and go with the flow. You can check out my Venus retrograde blog where I give you a whole bunch of different scenarios on how this can be playing out for you and the do's and don'ts during a Venus retrograde. But overall, this is things coming in from the past. However, we do have this really positive energy coming towards us at the end of November between the 26th and the 30th. I believe it's like 9 positive aspects. And this is obviously going to bring in more movement, more things going forward. And so I am always against telling people not to do anything, first of all, during a retrograde anyways, because we all have real lives and that's not always possible, right? But again, read the blog, and this is just to make you aware that if things are coming up, just be mindful, that there could be some delays, confusion. You might even have to backtrack with these things, and just know that it's because it's being done during a retrograde. But with so much positive energy, I don't know, it could be not, you might not experience anything at all, meaning like anything negative at all. So, all right. So September and October and November are relationship months because they're ruled by 2 relationship signs. So partnership energy is still going to be at the center for you. So you have the opportunity to find your perfect partner or build on a partnership that you already have. You even have energy there to find helpers, and collaboration and is coming in, especially around money. And then you have the Sagittarius energies coming in, coming to an end. It's positive energy here with Sagittarius for you and your placements. So anything around teaching, learning, starting a course, or getting a job should be favorable for you at this time. This also rules immigration and travel. So again, just things that you could be seeing happening on the world stage. Be mindful in these themes that anything coming up, we got to be aware of what governments are doing and what changes they're making, so that we know how these things may affect any decisions that we come up with these themes around this time. Every 6 months we have an eclipse season. And so we are ending an eclipse cycle now. And that has to do with how we gather information, how we share information, education and education systems, working from home, and mobility. Now, you can go back to March of 2020 to see what themes have been playing out for you for this entire time. But again, ultimately, this is about us understanding how this played out for us and what changes we like to make, as well as what the world stage is deciding to do around these themes, and how that may or may not affect anything that you come up with at this time. Okay. We'll also be beginning a new cycle around finances, self-efficiency, environmental topics, sustainability, food, wealth, and shared resources. The last time we had this cycle was back in 2012 to 2014. And so you could have a lot of things closing out for you at this time. The really beautiful thing about eclipses is that it's a time of evolution, right? It's showing us where we're ready to evolve in some area of our lives. Eclipses are south node and north node. So your south node are the skills and knowledge that you were born here with, and the skills and knowledge that you gain between age 30 and 35. And what's happening here is that we're getting more information to our story, our generational wealth, our bloodline. And how does that, how are we playing that out? You know, it's a record of sorts of information throughout our generations that we carry, that we're carrying on. And so how are you participating within that process? You really get to see that through these through the eclipses. And so then you have the north node that represents that happens between 35 and 42, where you're learning, you know, what your mission is, what is your purpose in this lifetime. And then between 42 and 48, you're mastering that area of life. So again, it's just a process of evolution throughout your bloodline that I think is a really cool way to think about this process. And so you'll have your own personal nodes in your chart, and how is that relating to the nodes, the transiting nodes. So there's always a few different ways this can go for me, but the ones that stick out the most are how the world is changing throughout these nodes, and how that affects where you would like to change in your world, right? And how do you do that? Like, how do you plan around those changes outside of us? And what does that look like for you? And what possibilities can you bring forth with that information, right? So you have that really, really great thing happening there. And there wasn't too much outside of that for my Aquarius family. So just jumping right on into it. If you want a full horoscope directly, specifically to you, please join my Cosmic Connection group, where I have over 200 horoscopes for all 12 signs that allow you to go back. Not only do I have horoscopes for all 12 signs, but I have all the eclipses horoscopes in that cosmic connection group that really allow you to go back and see over time what has changed for you. And are you in alignment with that? Have you been experiencing those things? And you really get the opportunity to learn a little bit more about yourself throughout those horoscopes. And because every house equals 30 degrees. And so it's broken down in three deacons. So I don't know if anybody has ever really been an avid horoscope reader. And sometimes what you'll have is sometimes it's right on point. It matches you right to the T, and you're like, oh my God, that's so on point. Other times you'll read it and you'll be like, well, that happened maybe a few months ago, but that's not relevant now. Or you'll read it and you'll be like, that has absolutely nothing to do. But then like 3 months or so down the line, you see whatever that horoscope was playing out in your life. Well, that's because depending on how the person advocates or puts out their horoscopes, most people usually go by the middle deacon. So you have the first deacon, which is right on the cusp of another sign, right? That's your 0 to 10 degrees. And then you have your middle degree cusps, which is the most popular, which is 10 to 20 degrees. And that's also from, like the first of the month through the 10th. And then you have the 10th to the 20th, which is the late degree. And that is the final degree of every planet, of every deacon is the final degree. And basically what I've done with these horoscopes is I've broken that down for each sign. So again, family, if you want yours dedicated specifically to you, you can sign up to my Cosmic Connection group and you can get that emailed out to you. But for the early degree placements, you're having this in the 4th house, so you can study anything around Cancer, themes and characteristics. And for my middle and late degree people, you're having this in the 3rd house, which is Gemini, themes and characteristics. So you can do the research, you can research, Google this anywhere to find out this information for you. And yeah, that's about it, family. So I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.